Alright guys, welcome back. Episode 22 of this Impact Wrestling Save. I hope you guys have been enjoying the series so far. Hope you guys are enjoying the other content we've been putting out on Wrestling GM. But again, it's good to be back to be on Impact Wrestling. On Explosion this week, we had more matches from the Super X Cup. Crazy Steve got his first points against Rohit. Daniel Makabe got his second win over Daga. He has 4 points. Dez has now got 4 points as he defeats Petey Williams, who's yet to win. Wentz gets his second match. Now is undefeated still as he defeats Jake Christ. And Chris Ridgway in the same bracket is undefeated when he defeats TJP. Also, at the minute, this is the biggest I can get TEW. Without going into like custom settings for how big the game can be. 150 cuts things off, and it means I can't open like my show history without cutting off the close button. And 100 is just too small. If you guys think 125 is okay, let me know. If not, I can fill it around with the custom settings and we can fix that. But I'm probably going to block record this week and next week, so it might be changed for the pay-per-view or the booking plans video instead. So our episode tonight, 160 minutes, 17 segments. Let's just get into it. So we open up with Josh Matthews and Sami Callihan. Josh Matthews and Don Callis, hyping up last week's events, with Sami Callihan keeping his number one contendency to EC3's title. And we run down what happened with Moose and James Storm, their feud of course starting. And then we announce that Chris Bay, after his match tonight, has an announcement for Trey has an announcement for Chris Bay. 40 is not a bad rating. And you know, it's how we always open up the show. Maybe we'll tweak it from time to time, but this is the standard open for us. Obviously, it's hard to keep up with Impact Wrestling at the minute because, you know, AEW has changed it so drastically that my fantasy booking is way more different than it ever could have been. Like, I kind of thought that the major change I would be doing would be keeping people like Kelly Ray, the Rascals, Ethan Page active on my roster, whereas actually the change that I've made is not only keeping those guys but not being affiliated with AEW. So we'll just have to see, I guess, how that goes. Super X Cup Block A match as Chris Ridgway defeats Zachary Wentz in 11:47 by pinfall with a Tiger Bomb at a 36. Not great. Ridgway's actually got an injury, which is also not good. I guess he will possibly have to forfeit the remainder of his matches, or we'll find a stand-in, hopefully. Somebody that wasn't in the original tournament that can take Ridgway's spot. But a 44 for Ridgway, 41 for Wentz is not bad. Yeah, chronic shoulder pain, I got that. Thank you, Artie Evans. Oh, Wentz actually botched it, so that's not good. Hopefully we can get that heat away from Wentz fast. Ridgway's not even really a member of our roster. He's on loan from Noah, so it's kind of disappointing that it's an injury on him, and he's just going to leave. Wentz looks disappointed after the match. He's in shock that he's been beaten by, you know, someone from outside of the company in Chris Ridgway of Noah. 27, not a great segment, but, you know, we're trying to build Wentz maybe into an X Division contender while he's not in the tag division, especially for just the Super Cup mainly. Ethan Page and Josh Alexander are on locker room gossip with Madison Rain, you know, discussing how they feel like they're the greatest tag team in Impact Wrestling history and how it's been a long time since they have had a title shot, and they think, you know, if the Good Brothers are convinced with giving out title shots in their Good Brother challenge, they should have been at the top of the list. Of course, they've been interrupted by the Good Brothers themselves, who say if the North want it tonight, they can have it tonight in the main event, which, given the last week's main event, kind of bombed. I'm hoping that the Heat, you know, the big tag team matches can pull us through, and a 44 rating would suggest maybe they can. The women's tag team, or Knockouts tag team tournament continues as Havoc and Nevaeh defeat Hogan and Tasha Steelz, the real-life Knockouts tag team champions, in a 7-minute and 54-second match as Havoc pins Steelz with a Havo Killer 39 rated match. Havoc in the game, Havoc and Nevaeh are just more ready for a opportunity like this than Steelz and Hogan are. You can tell by the, you know, sort of 9, almost 10 point difference in their ratings. But Hogan and Steelz aren't done. We'll I'm sure at some point build them back up into title opportunities. And then after the match, a simple celebration for Havoc and Nevaeh. 38 rating, not bad. Trey versus Shira. Trey gets his sort of hype up win before, 2 weeks before the pay per view, as he defeats Mahabali Shira. 48 for Trey is really good actually, because I think when you hit that 50 rating, you're getting into the zone where you may be able to compete almost at a main event level for us. And Shira is unfortunately down at a 22. After the match, Trey gives him mic and announces that he would, he wants something special for his first pay-per-view defense, and he says against Chris Bay at Final Resolution, that I think is the next pay-per-view. I'm pretty sure he doesn't want it in just any other match. He wants it in the Impact, sort of Impact famous match, the Ultimate X match. Technically in game you can't do an Ultimate X match, it's a ladder match, but I don't think there's a major sort of style difference for the way we'd be going anyway. So technically the game will call it ladder match, but it is an Ultimate X match, as for some reason my database does not have those. So next week we'll find out if Chris Bay accepts the Ultimate X match. In a 41, Deonna Purrazzo comes back out and tells Kylie Rae's in the ring, waiting to find out who her opponent is this week, as Deonna Purrazzo is continuing to give her a different challenge every week to try and prove that she is a contender for the Knockouts title. This week, she gets given Taya Valkyrie, who in real life is the longest running Knockouts champion of all time, I believe, or one of, if not the. So it's a very big test for Kylie Rae. Can she beat someone who is synonymous with the Knockouts title, whereas Kylie Rae is yet to win anything in her Impact career? And in a 44 rated match, Kylie Rae is able to defeat Taya Valkyrie in 10 minutes with a super kick. With Kylie Rae actually outperforming Taya Valkyrie as well, which is a good sign. Hopefully meaning she'll be ready for a big title match at the pay-per-view. Was there anything we could have done better? Taya's inconsistent, but that seems to be about it. Yeah. So actually a really good match there. Hopefully Kylie and Deonna will kill out of the pay-per-view. And after the match, Deonna Purrazzo is joined in the ring by Taya Valkyrie and Rosemary, who jump Kylie Rae, beating her into the mat before Jordynne Grace and her Knockouts Tag Team Tournament partner, Serena Deeb, run down to the ring and knock out their future opponents, Taya Valkyrie and Rosemary, from the ring, with Deonna escaping unharmed. And they, of course, help Kylie to their feet before the segment ends. Rich Swann cuts a promo backstage, not with an interview or anything, just on his own backstage, talking about his feud with Eric Young, running down the injuries, the beatdowns, the hands behind your back match that they had, and sort of covering the fact that, Rich Swann could have been number one contender for the World Heavyweight title coming up at Final Resolution, but instead Eric Young intervened, and they're stuck in this loop, and he wants to end it at Final Resolution. Their final match, EY versus Swann 3, any stipulation Eric Young wants, but after that, it is over. And then that is his promo. 38's not great. The promo that they've kind of under-delivered for me, Swann and Young, despite I believe in real life they had a decent feud, but at the moment they've under-delivered for us. Hopefully the pay-per-view they can take it off and get into newer things. Jim Storm gets a 43 match and an injury, as okay. Hernandez defeats Jim Storm in 9:52 by pinfall after a border toss. An injury to Storm meant an audible was called and the finish was changed on the fly. I wondered what happened. Storm got a 52. Hernandez 37. It looks like Storm was out for a long time, which is not good, as we have obviously pay-per-view plans for him. We might have to find another opponent for Moose at the pay-per-view, but I don't know what happens to our next segment then. 43 rated match though. Hopefully a semi-severed spinal column though does sound like a long-term injury. I'll probably update on the next episode what happened with that. I can't. I have to take out this segment. This was supposed to be Moose beating down Jim Storm, Ooh. Do I have to replace it? Do I have to replace the time? Yes. Um, I don't really want to give the time to the Good Brothers of the North because they'll have more title feuds in the future. I will. Here's what we'll do. Here's what we'll do. Moose will still run down to attack him, but Hernandez will make the save. Hernandez saves Storm, and then next week we will get Hernandez versus Moose. I'll just link it to the storyline because I don't personally know how long he'll actually be out for. So until then, the storyline I guess is still tightly alive. Yep, 43 Hernandez saves Storm from the Moose beatdown. Moose runs down, wanting to clobber Storm with spear. Hernandez blocks it, hits Moose with whatever his finisher is, lays him out. We quickly cut to commercial so we can get Storm out of there and figure out what we're doing next week, I guess. EC3, Sami Callihan promo segment. They're both backstage, or both sort of on camera, and it's cutting into different interviews where they talk about their experiences in pro wrestling, their background, what they're like, and it's, you know, building up the comparison of the gritty, grimy underdog Sami Callihan and the sort of rich, easy living, you know, clean cut EC3 to sort of build up how different both men are to each other going in to Final Resolution. Another low rating, actually a 42. I would hope for better. Not much interesting going on in the segment though, so maybe that was the issue. But next week we'll maybe have a big segment between them or a big match to try and boost our show, because I think we might be on the way to another low rating. 53. If we have saved it, it'll be thanks to the Good Brothers in the North, as the Good Brothers defeat the North in pretty much 14 minutes. When Doc Gallows pins Ethan Page with a magic killer, the Good Brothers make defense number 3 of the World Tag Team titles. Good ratings all round, 51 for Anderson, 49 for Doc Gallows, 46 for Alexander, and 44 for Ethan Page. It's not a clean loss, don't worry, the North have not just been beaten in 14 minutes by the Good Brothers for no reason. Heath and Rhino should have interfered, I don't know why it doesn't come up. But, you know, they'll have their musical have hit, they'll have distracted the North, they'll have been hit by the Magic Killer, and it's not a clean loss. The same way Heath and Rhino's loss last week was not. And the show ends with a 47. Gallows and Anderson are celebrating in the ring, holding their tag titles aloft, while heated rivals Heath, Rhino, and the North brawl to close the show. I'm hoping for at least high 40s. 50, I'll take that. I'll take a 50. And I think it's a decent show. I think maybe some of the segments revolving around James Storm would have been better had he not have got injured, obviously, and had to be replaced by Hernandez. But Hernandez has actually got a accidental, very big win over James Storm, so maybe we can do something there. Trey obviously has called out Chris Bay for an X Division title match. Next week it seems like we're going to get a 6-woman tag team match, maybe. So there's actually a lot to go there. Wentz lost his first match in the X Division Cup, in the Super X Cup, sorry, as Chris Ridgway is now 3 matches unbeaten, and Wentz is now 2-1. Wentz having 4 points, Ridgway topping their group with 6. Thank you guys for checking out this episode. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and hopefully the next one will be out shortly. Cheers.